Years ago, when doing teacher training, I noticed that the headmaster in the school where I was posted for a while was very good with the children, and he wanted them to become aware of what it was to be blind. And he got one of the girls to volunteer to be blindfolded, to experience seeing nothing for a while, and then to say to everyone what she thought at that time. We take it for granted. At university, way back in the 70s, it happened to be that I had a friend who was totally blind. We had to read to him. They have actually a great capacity for memorizing, because there's no distraction, everything is in their head, and very little do they forget. In fact, they become sharper on many things that we haven't. He explained to me how they develop other senses, and how when walking along one can, he put it, hear a lamppost coming. And only one syllable, when he went to see him, he knew exactly who was there straight away. So the other senses are sharpened. We actually are dumbed down in our generation because we have not got that sharpened awareness. Partly because we have become saturated with too many impulses. If you don't believe what I'm saying, compare a present day bit of filming with one done in the 60s. What will you find? The speed of the change of frame is greatly increased. People can't look at one frame for more than a few seconds at the most, whereas way back, long scenes would happen with very little movement of camera. People were by nature able to be more still. And we think we've gone on. Actually, we've gone back. Humanly speaking, we're damaged. Also, it's very little time now we have with silent classical books. We know many things, but we're not actually good at settling ourselves down. Looking at facts through a screen is not the same. And actually, when it comes to scoring in exams, we're handicapped. Nothing can replace being able to sit still with just a quiet book. I remember actually comparing when in the 70s and 80s in France, we were doing theology in the monastery, how greatly advantageous it was not to have anything. Television, telephone, screen, nothing artificial for all those years, because a book became really alive. A scene in a book could make you cry. You were far more sensitive. And also a word in a quiet place was very powerful. The first reading is about words. St. James is inviting us to be good listeners. Are we good listeners? Are we genuinely picking up things when somebody's before us? There are actually symptoms of it. If one is looking at a person, one can pick up fairly quickly whether the person is present to you, totally or not. You look at the average conversation now, it's not always happening. Proof. A mobile phone goes off. What does the person do? They'll answer the mobile phone in your presence. And on it goes. But there is more. We priests know things that perhaps the average layperson wouldn't be fully aware of because we get all the secrets. One big problem now in relationships is this one. After a while, a couple which starts off quite well, deeply in love, sees that an illness is coming in. And one symptom is this, that the partner is actually, in practice, less important than other presences immediately available. And I've heard many times, especially from women, this problem is ruining the marriage. I've lost my husband. He is addicted. He's addicted to presences which are more important than I am. I no longer get his complete attention. Even in bed, he's got a smartphone open. Now do you see how subtle it is, and how damaged we are as a human race compared with 50 years ago, when a couple normally had each other totally in a good marriage. Totally. What is life if it has to be sacrificed to virtuality, and the reality is totally